The plaintiff has a support obligation of $706 plus an additional $50 for ordered on arrears and a balance on the account of $8,276.70. He has been consistently paying $250 each month. We did do a child support review in which he had objected at the end of October. It was granted, and we used the information that he provided and ended up with the 706 figure.
Thank you, sir. What would you like to say?
Well, I'd say that conclusion is erroneous because it was based upon arrearages that were assessed from 2018, 2019. And when I requested records, they gave me back to 2021. And this is the adversarial nature of the friend of the court. I have the records where they had a $3,000 draft out of my account to cover that $3,000 they're alleging that I still owe. And the new assessed value of $700 and some odd dollars is based upon their assumption that I'm not providing medical and dental insurance as per my ex-wife. When I've provided my LES statements, when you look at deductions, it clearly states that is already deducted for my child. So she is getting medical and dental insurance and vision and hearing as well. So all this needs to be reevaluated, in my opinion, with a fresh look and a honest look instead of the beguiling nature of my ex-wife to push a narrative and try and get more money out of me.
All right, so if you think there's an issue, you would have to file a motion to address those. I know we had an objection hearing at one point. And that was dealt with. And then obviously, like my decision, your next step is to object to that and take it to the judge. I don't know that that was done. It doesn't look like it was done, so I do see it. The judge's signed order from November. So that's what currently controls until there is some type of change to a motion. I don't see anything pending.
No, there's nothing pending. The front of the court's been very difficult to deal with. It's taken several calls. The address has been wrong numerous times. I even missed a couple of hearings because they were sending the hearing notices to my old address. And when I called and confirmed, they said, yes, we have this new address, but we see that it was sent to the old address inexplicably.
Well, what I got before me is there's a court order saying you pay $706 a month and you've been paying $250. Is that correct?
Yes, that was the original agreement. The 706 was some new evaluation based upon my wife basically trying to say that I haven't been given her medical and dental insurance when I have since the day she was born. That's the way it works in the military. You know, your dependents are immediately gained into TriCare. I've never turned it off. And honestly, I cannot until she's 21. So the whole thing is just false on its face.
Did you raise that issue when we were here last time with the objection?
I'm sorry, sir. Someone was trying to call in. Can you say that again?
Well, we were here before you on your objection. Did you raise those costs? You were here in October 29th.
Yes.
You had an objection. That objection was granted. A new recommendation was prepared using the updated financial information.
Right. And in the review, what I got was because I did not provide medical and dental insurance, this was the new assessment. But I've been providing it this. Well, no, I immediately requested this hearing.
All right. Well, this hearing is a show cause that was scheduled by the friend of the court. This is not a hearing to address any errors in the calculation.
Okay. Then I need to get that going. I have all the receipts. I have all the records. I've highlighted everything. I can show every year, because of Obamacare, we have to document that stuff. I can show every year that my child has had medical insurance and dental insurance since birth. It's on my LESs as a deduction. So I don't understand the complication and confusion here. The $3,000 was drafted. The majority of the $8,000 some odd dollars is fees stacked on top of fees, stacked up on fees, stacked on top of fees. I have all from the very beginning. The $3,000 was taken out by Luann. It was garnished out immediately. And then when I called and checked her on it, she says, well, we'll just put it in your account.
All right, well, I mean, I know Miss Dean hasn't been around for a while, so that was several years ago, it sounds like.
Yes, Luann was something. Yeah, she was interesting.
Like the calculation does indicate that mom pays the health insurance premiums.
Yeah. Why? I'm covering it. Right now, there's a big dispute going on with my daughter getting 2 wisdom teeth pulled out, and my ex is saying that cost $3,000 on her insurance. I just had a wisdom teeth pulled out. I'm not joking. 4 months ago, it cost $270. So why is she paying literally 10 times the amount, and then wanting me to fund half that? When if she would use my insurance, it would be $270.
All right, so in front of the court, are you aware of all of this potential insurance issue? Was that addressed with you at all? Were you given documentation from either party?
I'm not sure if we received information on the case questionnaire from Mr. Rowlands. I do know that Ms. Rowlands provided the case questionnaire that would have covered all the expenses regarding the insurance.
Okay.
Apparently, that's
All
not
right,
the case.
So as indicated, though, we're not here on that issue, so that
Okay, that's
you'd
fair.
file a motion, and then she would have the right to obviously appear also and address any of those issues. When there was an objection, that particular issue was raised.
Well, I will most certainly be calling later today, probably in the next hour or two, to request the hearing to address this. This has been lingering far too long. It needs to be addressed and corrected, in my opinion, immediately.
Like it's motion on the docket, we do address it. It sounds like it's lingered for a long time, and
Yes, sir.
it's on the parts to file those motions. Trying to see if I can find your last objection. Find your objection from September.
Well, there's been several of them, no doubt. And this is something that keeps
Don't see
getting
anything in that
regenerated.
written objection that addressed any issue with healthcare costs. So that's why we must not have addressed it last time.
Oh, no, sir. That's been fairly recent.
All right, so for today's purpose, what's before me is that you've got a $706 plus $50 payment you're supposed to make monthly, and you're paying $250.
Yes, sir.
And that,
So that
if the health
is
insurance
because
is adjusted, certainly not going to come to a change of over $500 per month. So what is your plan moving forward?
Well, the plan for me moving forward was the 250 was the original agreement that we had a couple years ago. Nothing has changed in my regard. I'm literally making the same amount of money, the same amount of disability, the same amount of everything. So I don't understand why this sudden need to jack it up to, double, 2.5 times its current rate. And based upon what? My ex-wife knows, she used to be in the military herself. She knows TriCare is till 21. That's it. End of story. Unless she's a full-time student, then it gets bumped out to 24. She's aware of this. I don't know why she started pursuing this, saying that I'm not providing medical and dental insurance. I can't wrap my head around that, but it kind of speaks to the character of who she is, with the nonstop complications.
I'm going to adjourn your case to be heard before the judge. So I'll adjourn you out to May 8th to address this particular issue. If you have issues with the support amount, you have to file that. I mean, we had an objection hearing recently. None of these issues were raised. There was a new calculation done. I guess some of that information may have not been provided. So that's where we're at right now. That's the order. So I'm going to adjourn you out.
Okay.
You're going to have a hearing on May 8th before the judge.
Okay.
If you think the support calculation is not correct, it is on you to file a motion and provide that information showing that there's proper cause or change of circumstances that should be changed.
I will do that today, sir.
Notice for that new date before the judge. Any questions, sir?
Nope. I appreciate that hearing.
All right, thank you. You're all set for today.
All right. Thank you, sir.